Hey everybody, it's Meteorologist Jim Caldwell back in the WKYT Now studio here with you on this Wednesday edition, and we've had a lot happening out there. Maybe not as much here in the Commonwealth, but certainly in the world of active weather down around Florida, of course, with the arrival of Hurricane Idalia that made landfall earlier this morning. We'll get to talking about that one here in just a second, but let's get you outside. Getting a little sunshine mixing in with some of these clouds. That's what a lot of us have experienced out there for you so far today. Ends up being a pretty day, and it's comfortable too. That's the other thing. Well, we keep temperatures at a very nice level here. You see plenty of 70s. We're still holding on some 60s in northern parts of Kentucky. You get out toward Covington, cruise down the road there to Maysville at 69. So it is a comfort feel for us as we have some of that nice air settling in. Now, what's happening is Idalia is starting to run into a frontal boundary. It's going to kind of keep it away from a deep run into the U.S. Those showers will keep sweeping through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina as we move through time. Now, eventually, they'll lose some of the rain there in Florida. That's all coming. We look ahead, and that cloud cover in our animation here, that is part of the hurricane. Highs top out close to 80 degrees today. There's a shot. Some of us are trying to get awfully chilly tonight. I think a low 50 is certainly a good possibility. Wouldn't be shocked if a 40-degree reading did creep in. Could be a little bit cooler for you tomorrow as we're in the 70s for highs. I think Friday we see a little bump in the numbers, back in the low to mid 80s. Puts us close to normal, maybe not quite to that level, but close enough as we reach the peak heating hours. The other thing doing us a big favor here is the humidity. It's not going to be off the charts at any point. I mean, it's very comfortable. It's falling in what I consider the comfortable category because it's not noticeable. Humidity pops up a little bit there on Friday, but that's it. It's nothing to write home about. We look at the big picture here. We will get some more heat, and I want you to keep in mind the graphic I just showed you with the humidity staying down. The heat is going to try to show up a little bit, flex somewhat, getting us back into the upper 80s, close to maybe a 90-degree reading. But as you see here, the core is still to our west. We keep the warm air here. So our pattern, after going through some fall-like days here, we're going to flip it back to summer. Highs could hit 90, maybe higher in some cases, but your heat index is not going to be anything unbearable. All right, here is the latest on Idalia, and this comes in from the latest update here at 11 o'clock this morning, so information came in about 41 minutes ago, and it is moving around 20 miles per hour north-northeast. Winds inside that eye are around 90 miles per hour. That's the maximum sustained winds. Gusts are up to 115 miles per hour. And there you see a little more up close and personal view of that. It's near Valdosta, I'm just guessing, Georgia. And that's where the eye, or the center of circulation at this point, is located. It's still being tracked as a tropical weather feature, so you see that it moves along here through Georgia and then into South Carolina, trying to hold on to some of that hurricane strength before dumping back out into the Atlantic. And when it does that, it stays as a tropical storm, but you see the track that it's on. So no direct impact here in the U.S., not the U.S., in Kentucky. Certainly a direct impact in the U.S., just not widespread, because there are some of these that can impact numerous states. This one is going Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, for the most part, with some of the more intense stuff. I appreciate you stopping by, giving me a few minutes of your time here to check our weather forecast. We're going to be back on television here in about, they moved my clock, in about 18 minutes for you. So you can check that out then on WKYT News at noon. Y'all have a wonderful